Hey folks, and all be all here, and we are back with week two of expanded 5v5. Now, this is going to be the second battle of the week. The first battle, it wasn't too great. I mean, I was facing an opponent with only 600k lifetime banners, not that serious. So I one-shot his board. He was only able to clear one zone of mine. I'll leave a link down in the video below if you want to check out those battles without commentary. But I thought I'll go ahead and record commentary for this particular video because A, my opponent is decent, 800k, about almost 800k lifetime banners. And also, this is going to be the last video that I'm going to be uploading for a while, at least for a couple of weeks. I'm leaving for vacation in a few hours, and I might still record my videos, but even if I decide to upload them, it'll be without commentary. But if I get time in the middle, I might just sneak in a commentary video here and there. But you can fully expect that for the rest of this season, I probably will not upload any more videos. So that's why I wanted to make one last video before I take off for vacation. So we are facing Adobo the Hutt from Team Steroid, and yep, about 788k lifetime banners and a pretty decent defensive record. Uh, and he's got four GLs just like me. He doesn't have the new JKL, so that's an advantage that I have. So let's see what I decided to keep for defense. Now these days in GAC, I love to keep these three teams up in the front down south. I think DR, GAS, and CLS. A lot of these teams they demand a GL counter. So this is one way to extract a GL counter without putting your own GL down because I like to keep all my GLs on offense. In this season so far, I've kept all my GLs on offense, and I've never been cleared. So if you can keep uniformly tough teams down, and the three toughest teams down in the south, keep your opponent guessing about what's at the back. That I think is a much better strategy, and that gives you your own GLs on offense for flexibility as well. So all of these teams can be taken out without GLs, of course. Gas can be taken out by CLS. Darth Revan can be taken out by troopers and by bounty hunters if they are fast enough, and um, and also by Vader Thrawn. And then CLS can be taken out by Grievous, obviously, any Jedi team with JKL. There's tons of options over there. But a lot of people are uncomfortable using those options. So, depending on the kind of player that you're going against, if you keep these three down south, you have a chance of making your opponent pretty uncomfortable. At the back, I didn't keep any GLs, nothing tough. I mean, depending on the opponent, you might decide to keep a GL trap at the back. But what I did was I kept a few teams which can't really be troopered or nested or anything like that. I've kept Padme, B squad of Padme, but this can give some problems if opponents are exhausted with other options. I've kept Night Sisters with Nest in here to prevent the troopers counter because my opponent has got decent troopers, and I've kept Maul with Wampa. This team actually got me a couple of holds last time against an 870k opponent. So that I think this team can, especially with Treya in there, with Maul lead, my Treya is going to be 320, 330 speed, going to go first, and then the whole team is going to get. Going to leave Wampa in the open and start, and he's going to start countering. So it's a tricky team. You can't really take anything light against it, and even if you take something heavy against it, you'll end up losing banners. So that's what I like about this team. And then up north, I've kept, these are the teams I usually always keep on defense. I've kept my JTR with Finn Bros. I've kept GG Newt, and I've kept Crew with Hux and Sith Trooper, Red Trooper. These ones are all, they're not the B version of this teams. They are the premier version of this team. So it takes something heavy to get them down. And then Geos I usually use for offense, but I've been finding a lot of success with Geos with Poggle Lead and Django over there. A lot of people like to use Newt with the Django. They like to use Poggle with Droidica, Relict Up, and Django. All of those are good options, banner stealing options. So that's what I have over here. And at the back, I've decided to keep both my get to ships on defense as usual. Now, my opponent has kept a decent defense. He's got his Grievous. He's got SLKR. He's got a CLS squad. He's got Red Trooper with Crew in there. Luckily, there's no Hux, so we can do something against that. And then down south, so that's one GL at the top, and then down south he's kept his other GL with DR as well, which means a pretty decent defense. He's gone, I think, slightly defense heavy against me. So he's kept his DR, kept his Ray, and a Mon Mothma team. So let's do a Ray mirror over here first, and then we can tackle the others. I mean, for Ray, a lot of people prefer using JML, um, especially against a squad like this. Or you could use Ray Mirror. Both those are great options. SLKR typically tends to give you lower banners. Obviously, I don't have C, but the first preference for many people is using Sith Eternal. That gives you more than 60 banners. And depending on how your Sith Eternal and Ray is modded. But for me, without the Sith Eternal option, I decided to go with a Ray mirror. And the version I like to run is because I keep my heroes on defense. The version I like to run with is the Bando team. And the Bando team is great on defense as well, but they give so much more survivability against Ray over here. There's low damage out here, but you've got your own Ray doing whirlwinds. She's the main source of damage. The other guys are mainly meant to be to keep the rest of your squad alive. Your main tank is obviously going to be IG-11. Ray will give damage immunity. Bando is going to give damage immunity. Quill is going to heal, and then Vandor we can revive as well if he's prepared with the occasional ultimate if the ultimate takes out one of your characters. And Vandor also recovers protection for everyone. So very survivable team. There is low damage, but I think as long as you're able to manage the whirlwinds at the right time and the ultimates at the right time, you should be able to do pretty well over here. And this squad does really well, especially against squads which have less tanks. Like you have the Finn hero version of it, where you just have one or two tanks, like either JTR or Holdo. This actually does pretty well against those because you can get rid of those two tanks really fast with a couple of whirlwinds and keep the team alive, and then get rid of Finn, get rid of Poe, and then when only Ray is left, it's an extremely easy job taking care of her. You can even delay a little bit at the end to heal some banners and protection. So here you see I'm giving healing immunity, damage immunity to a few of my characters whenever I can. I'm thinking I may replace Vandor with another scoundrel character, maybe Han, veteran Han, or somebody like that, because Vandor is so great with your Kira prepared scoundrels, and he's great in so many other teams as well. So I've got a decently G12 Kira scoundrel team, so I might just use my Vandor against that particular squad. So here you see a little bit of protection lost on IG-11, but not much of an issue because there's tons of ways in which I can heal him up. So there you go. Ray has reached the next ultimate, and I'm just trying to time my ultimate. So there's more than 50% turn meter, so it's a perfect time to do the ultimate. So I do my ultimate, get damage immunity on everyone, and then just wait for the Ray to go. And then all I need to do is take care of Holdo, and then I can just finish off Ray. So there we go. Holdo is down. Now we're down to only Ray with about 2 minutes left, so that's plenty of time. I do healing and damage immunity when I can. There you see, the team is able to tank so well. Ray mirrors are really, there is a slight chance of timing out, but otherwise it's such a clean option. It's a really great way to end with 59 to 60 banners on almost any single Ray comp. So that's something which I always prefer to do when I'm either in 3v3 or 5v5s. Ray mirrors are just so much more elegant. Um, Ray is great on defense, but if you can get 59 versus an enemy Ray, you basically just neutralize their GL altogether. So pretty good outcome over there. Now I decided to go that Darth Revan is about 339 speed or something like that. So I decided to go with my troopers. My troopers are pretty fast, with Stark at effective 350 speed. But you have got HK in there with the Zeta, and what you need to do is you need to start with the buffs on Stark first, and try to get down Sith and Empire Trooper as soon as you can. And I do single target attacks over here. So no, here if you see, I know I made a big mistake. I did the stomp ability with the range trooper. As long as HK is there with the Zeta, you're not supposed to use that ability at all. So that's why you see, until I killed HK, my troopers weren't gaining turn meter at all, despite the couple of kills that I had. And that's where things went south. So that's something to always keep in mind. And I've said this before, and I've with both Gideon and with range, I make it a point never to use a bonus protection up. Here it was a misclick, and I just lost the battle because of that, because these guys were not gaining turn meter on the deaths. So that's one thing to keep in mind when you're taking range and Gideon in there, is don't get bonus protection up. Otherwise, you're not going to get turn meter with HK in there. So that battle was a loss. I decided to just take in my Mon Mothma and clean this team up first before going down south. So I've got the TM version of Mon Mothma. This is great for mirrors. If Biggs is in there, it causes some problems, so I avoid the AoEs and typically tend to take everyone down and then take Biggs down at the end. And then I lose maybe one banner. I end with 59 or 60, depending on whether I'm able to heal or not. Um, but yeah, but this is a great team to take against Mon Mothma to end with full banners. If you don't want to waste your Vader or Troopers or anything like that, those are also great squads to take against Mon Mothma. But Mon Mothma mirror is cheap enough, especially if you see Mon Mothma in the front and you don't want to spend anything too expensive. Mon Mothma mirror is a great option. So here you can see I've taken out everyone with the exception of Biggs. Biggs obviously is going to get turn meter when the team hits him or crits him, or he gets damaged by Empire. So I'm going to leave him alone for now. I'm going to focus on Rebel Trooper, take him down, and there's still 4 minutes left. There's plenty of time. These guys do a decent amount of damage, even though a lot of my characters are G10, G11. Um, their main strength is just assisting and not giving the enemy a turn. And I love teams like that, which take complete control of the battle and don't allow the enemy to move. That's when you get maximum banners. So these kind of teams, or aura teams, or Bad Batch, all these are excellent control teams, which even at low gear, they tend to do a great job. You just need to clock their speeds right, and then you can really take charge of the battle. So my Kara over here is the speedy one. She's at 315, I believe. In the Aura team, there's both Grief and Bosk are the speedy ones with more than 350, 310, 315 speed on each. On the Bad Batch team, my Echo, I've now got him to G13. He's at 327. And even if you've got if your control teams are not able to go first, you can take in characters like Quill or Moff Gideon, who can reduce the enemy's turn meter or increase your own turn meter to allow your team to go first. So that's how you use control teams. Now against the as a cleanup on Darth Revan, I didn't want to waste any good Jedi, and I didn't want to waste any other good team because I didn't have no waters at the back. I still have three of my own GLs, well, actually two of my own GLs for the back. So I decided to just take in because it's preloaded. I decided to take in my own Jedi team with B Jedi basically. So I think this guy does a pretty decent job. Um, you just need to make sure that you have the taunt on him at all times. So I need to cleanse him and get the taunt back on him. So here you can see I'm trying to take care of Malik first and then Basti. I have buff immunity, so I need to cleanse that and get the taunt back on him, and then reduce his cooldown so that he doesn't do the fear yet. And now it's just a question of healing up protection. By himself, he's not much of a threat, Darth Revan. Just a question of healing up protection and ending with decent banners. So there you go. Got a couple of banners lost, but the drop battle obviously was unfortunate. But let's in 5v5 you can never rule it out. Even a drop battle is fine as long as you're efficient with the other zones. So nothing much at the back. So we can focus with the couple of tough teams at the top, and then we can go ahead and take care of what's at the south. So against the CLS squad, this is another good option. Grievous sometimes tends to give you low banners, and I took my SLKR last time and ended with 47 banners. But this team is a very decent option for very decent banners. Now, what you need to do is you need to get Old Ben in there because he gains turn meter anytime an enemy your allied Jedi gets attacked. So you see, he actually got to go first before any of the other characters. So that's what you need to do. You need to get your if one of your Jedi dies or gets attacked by Han and Chewie and the rest, your old Ben goes first. You can reduce everyone's turn meter, or you can even do the the Mass Assist, the special lead ability from Jedi Master Jedi Knight Luke, and then stun everyone. Well, at least you'll be able to stun the non-guarded characters. But after that, it's a pretty easy job cleaning it up. Now you can see over here, I've I've gotten rid of the main threats pretty easily with Jedi Knight Luke in there. So I think I'm going to be using this counter more often. Jedi Knight Luke versus CLS and 3PO whenever I see these guys. Just because they offer decent banner recovery. You've got Hoda, who's on stealth, who can never get stunned, who can all in a pinch he can call the lead ability and give Jedi Knight Luke the turn. But otherwise, I think Old Ben, this is the place for him. He needs to be on a Jedi Knight Luke team with Hoda, and just these three are the core which form the counter to the CLS squad. So here you can see I ended with 58 banners against the CLS squad without using a GL, which I think is a really good trade-off because ideally you'd want to use your GL and your GLs in other places, and if especially if you've kept both your Jedi GLs on offense, you can afford to use your JKL versus a squad like this and take your Jedi GLs against some other squads which can give you maximum banners. Like here, for example, I'm using my Kenobi against the SLKR. This is a hard counter. SLKR can't really crit against Kenobi every time they have bonus protection. And I could have autoed this battle, but whatever the SLKR comp is, this is a hard counter against it. You need to just kill everyone a few times, and that's about it. So yeah, here you can see I need to get rid of Hux because he gives turn meter to this guy, and then I get rid of Phasma, and then I need to go after Daka a couple of times. Now Daka revived Phasma, but that's fine. These guys won't be able to get turn meter anyway, so Phasma's ability is useless over here. So I decide to go after old Daka a couple of times, get rid of her. So that's the first kill, almost at my ultimate. And you can see the ultimate power of SLKR is not moved at all, just because he can't crit at all. And having Grandmaster Yoda in there is also helpful because he applies tons of foresight. So even if he doesn't really get that bonus turn meter on his basic, he can still get the bonus turn, and he can apply tons of foresight, which is great against SLKR. So there we go. Daka is down for the second time, and I decide to do my. I've got my ultimate, and I decide to do um, the healing ability on my Kenobi, and now I can ignore taunt, so I can just go after Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, take him out, and ensure that I end with full health and full protection on everyone. So Kenobi is he's great on defense, but on offense he's a guaranteed 60 against almost any GL that you see on defense. So that's one great advantage of keeping Kenobi on offense is you can get 60 against any GL at all. So now I decide to take my EP team against crew. I've taken EP because there's no Hux in there, so I can gain turn meter. So EP is a great option especially with weapons tech on Vader. You can control these guys pretty well. With all the AOEs that you have there with OG Kylo as well as Red Trooper, you might not be able to end with full health and full protection, especially because you can't delay too much on these guys. There's too much damage on Vader. but at least you get a guaranteed win over here. So I take care of Sith Trooper. I can't crit him, but there's enough offense on Vader to take him down. Now I need to yeah. So what I do over here is I pass the turn to Shore, get him to taunt, fracture Kylo, and then I try to stun everyone. Now, Kylo Ren unmasked is going to be a problem. So you can see over here he's offense moderate and he's taken out tons of protection from my characters, and I don't know if I'll have full time to recover all that protection. So I will just need to make sure that he's kept under control with stun and fracture, and then I take the other characters out and then try to recover some health and protection on my team. So um, yeah, so I decide to see if I can't take care of Kylo Ren and Mars right over there. 800k hit. Yeah, these guys they die pretty fast. So it's a reliable offensive team, but not really great for recovering full health and full protection. Maybe I should have taken Kylo Ren out first, but that's fine. Yeah, not much time to recover full health and full protection on everyone, but that's fine. I think my other squads have been doing okay. So I think I've recovered full health and full protection on Shore, which is why I end with 56 banners. All right, now we have I still have my own SLKR as well, and I think let's see what I decide to do over here. Yeah, I think I decided to take my SLKR against the Grievous squad up north to clear the ship zone. So I do a solo over here, and this one is a pretty straightforward solo. Nothing much to talk about over here, but as long as Newt is not in there, you can take care of the squad pretty well. I think my opponent likes to keep Newt on offense, so this one was a pretty straightforward battle. Um, and especially since I'd used my premium Jedi in other places, it was it wasn't I didn't really have much to be able to take out Grievous, which is why I like the option of keeping GLs on offense because it gives you that flexibility to use your B teams elsewhere. If you can use your SLKR to take out one or two, or if you can use a GL to take out one or two tough teams. So, Grievous is taken care of, and now I need to focus on ships and then see what's down south that I can take against that. All right, so Grievous is done. Let's see what I want to do against the other battle down south. Yeah, I think over here I decide to take in my Aura bounty hunters against Brute. Now, my I wanted to make sure that everyone gets a chance to go, so I took in Gideon over there to reduce the turn meter on everyone, and my Bosk and Gideon, Bosk and Grief, they get to go and they start doing their Master Assist and all of that to get everyone buffed. And you can see over here, I've been stunning them quite a lot, stunning all the key characters quite a lot, which is why I think, tenacity on or putting potency on aura is so important. So I've got my contract. I get rid of Brood Alpha right away because even if I lose the battle, as long as Brood Alpha is gone, it's a really easy cleanup. Plus, Spy is hidden, so I really can't do anything much about him. So now I just need to take care of the other characters one by one. They're not going to be health equalizing anymore, so it should be a pretty easy job taking care of these guys. Whoever's got the maximum turn meter, I try to stun them whenever I can. So Sunfac over here, for example, I do a basic stun him, and then whenever I can, I call assists on Aura in order to stun the other characters who are at full health and full protection, or at full turn meter rather. So um, my boss doesn't have taunt, which is why these guys are targeting my G10 aura. But now I get the taunt back up, and I need to make sure that I'm able to control the rest of the characters and take them out before they get to go. So the other advantage of having Gideon in there is these guys do less damage. Especially you can see my G10 aura would have probably died if if I didn't have Gideon in there, but because he was in there and reduced the offense, you can see over here, their spies hit did not really kill Aura and gave me the chance to recover full health and foot protection. So that's what I love about Gideon. He's a really solid character, which who can be plug and play in so many decent teams. Aura team, the Bad Batch team, if you want to outspeed someone, really great options all around. So I'm almost at full health and full protection on everyone and just spy to take down. A little bit left on aura, but I think once I get spy down, I should end with full health and full protection on everyone. There we go. So 60 banners. Aura lead is great that way. You get turn meter on the enemy death as well as protection recovery. So great team to end with full 60 banners. Now against the Bosk team, I decide to take my Bad Batch. As a fifth, I'm using Clone Sarge right now. I know that Omega is out, so I'll have her G7 or G8, I think, and 3 stars by the next by the lock of the next season, the next week. But I haven't really figured out where I want to use Omega, whether I want to use Omega or someone else yet. It depends on the kind of teams that I'm using to counter to use my Bad Batch against. I mean, by themselves, the four of them are more than enough. Um, but yeah, I think the one major advantage I see starting with Omega is your Wrecker. He starts with Furious right out the gate, and if your Hunter is fast, you can then pass the turn mirror over to Wrecker, and then he's got a secondary stun. You can go ahead and stun all the characters because he has Furious on him right away. You don't have to wait to do the second ability before getting Furious. So that's one advantage of having Omega in there. So you've got two stuns ability. You've got once you do the days with um, your uh, tech or with your echo, you have your stun ability with tech, and then you've got a secondary stun ability with the wrecker as well. So yeah, I'll play around with it a little bit and see how I want to use whether I want to use Omega or not in the next week or two. Otherwise, any good fifth like Thrawn or Moff Gideon, all of those are great characters to use with Bad Batch as well. If you don't want to just use them for 4v5. So here you can see, this team is doing pretty well. Everyone can very easily recover full health and full protection, with the exception of Sarge over here. There's no way for him to recover protection. Um, so I just end with, I think, 59 over here, but that's fine. All right. So yeah, this team is great versus these kind of teams at the back end who are hardy, but they can be easily controlled. So, Bad Batch is a great control squad to have as a Swiss Army knife on offense. And then this team is really not that great. It's a B Rebel squad. I don't have my Wampa, otherwise I'd have used him. But I really don't have many characters left. I've got my Mando squad and I've got a B Resistant squad, which are actually pretty great under Finn Lead. They get tons of defense, tons of offense, not much protection recovery here, but I'm really down to the dregs, and I'll be happy if I just one shot this team because I really don't have anything much left on offense. That's the thing with expanded 5v5, that even if you lose one battle, or even if you don't, you tend to run short of teams pretty fast. There seems to be a very uh, there's so many teams that you need to keep on offense and defense that things can get quite dicey if you on offense if you don't budget your teams well enough, which is why I was perfectly fine with this team getting like 55 56 banners, because I just didn't have any teams left on offense. Not clearing is a very serious issue over here in 5v5, and I just wanted to avoid that. One shot where you can and full clear where you can. That should be the goal for expanded 5v5. It's not always going to be an efficiency match. Yeah, so here you can see I have yeah, I don't have full health and full protection on a ton of them. and I'll probably end with 54, I think, because there's a little health missing on Han. So not the best, but it's okay for a backdoor team. All right, now it's just ships left. And for ships, there are a couple of squads over here. Let me go back there. Yeah. So there is a let's see. So there's the rebel fleet, which I decided to mirror with my own rebels. Um, and this one, my piston was faster than the enemy piston, so it's always a no-brainer. What you need to do is you need to target your enemy piston first if they keep piston, take him out, and then focus down on Biggs and make sure that he gets taken down with the mass assist, and that's great, especially if your home one is faster than the enemy home one. And then it's just a question of taking out the enemy Han Solo with with your own squad. And with the right assist, you can get it done even before you need to call in any additional troopers. So I didn't need any reinforcements. Got 63 over there. And now against the Empire squad, I decided to mirror it with Tarkin. I felt that Tarkin is better than Chimera just because of the extra offense, the extra turn meter generation. I felt it might be a much better option, so I decided to take in my Bomber as well as the others. But you'll see, it's not always the best banners if you take these characters against it. So I take this in, decide to see how it does. Because I've done it before and it's gotten me less banners, but it's at least a one shot. So what I do is their Vader is faster. I think he's got an R8 Vader versus my R5. So he gets to go first, gets to taunt up on both his tanks, and then he starts doing damage. And I need to, and he's got an R7 Marauder as well. My Marauder is G12, which is why my ship is really weak. But seems to be holding up okay so far. I try to get rid of his Marauder first, um, get the Emperor shuttle and heal up my Marauder. His ship goes, his TIE bomber goes and applies the bombs, and then I'm trying to see if I can't take care of the TIE bomber first. But you can see over here my squads are at pretty low health, and I've got I've got no way to heal them up, and my I lose my Sith Marauder, and I'm almost on the verge of losing Vader, and I lose my Sith Bomber, which is not great at all. So at this point, it's a loss because he's gotten rid of all my major ships. I don't have enough healing. I don't have enough cleansing, or my gauntlet came in too late to save the day. So this is going to be a loss. I just have to take out as many squads as I can, as many troopers as I can, and maybe reach my ultimate. So let's see if I'm able to do that. Um, but yeah, the Thrawn reaches the ultimate first and gets rid of my ships, and then I need to go ahead and clean it up with something. So maybe I should have just taken the Radis in right at the beginning, because I've done Radis against Empire before, and that also is decently successful as long as you save your Radis's cleanse, until after the TIE bomber has done his AoE and inflicted the burning. As long as you do that, I think it's a pretty safe option. Obviously now we don't have the TIE bomber in there, so it's a pretty easy cleanup. Plus, I've kept both my Gep2 ships, so I'm hoping that my opponent struggles a little bit over there. So, luckily, Vader has got taunt, so I am able to target him directly and take him down. And there you go. One single hit. Vader is down. Now I need to just call in my other resistance ship and try to do as many specials as I can and try to take them down with decent damage. Uh, so yeah, so it's battle is going pretty well now. There's nothing much I need to do. I do a lot of cleansing, a lot of healing, and get rid of the Sith Marauder ship finally. Now just one ship left to go, and then I should be fine. Do a basic, and with this I should be able to take the enemy ship down. I think I call in my Lando's Millennium Falcon because he gets a couple of turns. So with one big hit and with a second follow-up hit, we take care of the enemy ship for 46 banners. So lost about 20 banners over there, or maybe 15 if I had gotten about 60 or so. So not the best outcome, but 26-22 is a competitive score, especially since my opponent went slightly defense heavy, keeping two GLs, DRs, CLS, and a few other squads. So I'm hoping that my opponent struggles. And here's the final result. Just like my last opponent, my current opponent also was only able to clear one zone of mine. Struggled a lot against my DR team up front. Three battles over there, and then at the back was able to take out the Night Sister and Maul squads, but five battles against Padme, and this is the B Padme team, which really shouldn't be given that much problem. But I think he decided to use Vader or EP versus one of these other teams down south. So that's one thing about my defense is a lot of the teams that I've set down, it forces you to it pulls out a single counter like JKR or Darth Revan, or in this particular case, either Treya or Vader. That's something which Vader is what was pulled out from both the Maul as well as the Night Sister squad, which is why I think he wasn't able to use Treya and Vader against the Padme squad. Even over here, the Geo squad down south with the Poggle, that also is something which tries to pull out Treya or Vader. So set similar types of teams which pull out similar types of counters to stretch your opponent. Then they are bound to screw up on some of your other B teams. So I was able to one shot both Grievous as well as JTR over here, but he didn't have anything to attempt the first order squad. So this zone held as well. So that was the final outcome, 26-22 versus 1717. So that's the thing with this expanded 5v5 rosters. Even if you drop a battle or two, it's perfectly fine. Don't fret about it because there's a high chance that your opponent is also going to similarly struggle. So pretty good outcome. So that's the end of the second battle. In the third battle, I'll probably be facing an opponent with about 840, 850k lifetime mana. So it's going to be a decent one, but I don't think I'll be able to give commentary on that, given that I'll barely have time to do my battles. I'll be on a flight most of the time. So that's it for this week's Grand Arena. I'll give you guys an update. Maybe I'll leave a link down below to my third battle after I've completed it. And then whenever I can over the next couple of weeks, I'll upload my videos, my offense videos when I can, as I'm on vacation. All right, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. Happy gaming and enjoy the rest of the season. Take care.